What's up, guys? So Cierra's in Florida for a little over a week. She's a dance instructor, so she's going down and helping coach the team that's going to be performing at the halftime show of the Outback Bowl. So pretty cool. But that means I'm a bachelor for about 8-9 days here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go take up residency at the remote log cabin. So what that means, though, is that I'm going to have to bring the chickens. There's just no other way around it. You know, I can't leave them here. Their water will freeze. We don't have power, all that. So I'm going to have to pack them up and sled them through the wilderness to the log cabin. It's just the way it's going to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my portable fish house, my old one, set that up for them, and then, yeah, bring some straw, sled them in, and then rig that thing up, and they'll be staying in that for a week out in the wilderness with me. So is what it is, man. It'll be kind of fun. All right, here's going to be the setup. When I was home for Christmas, I was telling my parents I was going to the log cabin and going to pack the chickens in with me. And my dad's like, well, we have that old dog kennel downstairs. That'd probably be perfect for packing them back there with. And I agreed. So I'm going to put some straw down in there and then put all 7 chickens in this dog kennel. And it'll be a little tight for them, but they'll only be in it for about an hour and a half until I get there and can sled them back in. But yeah, should be a fun time. Chickens, you want to go on a field trip? Who wants to go on a field trip? Let me see ya. All right, all 7 of them are in there. They got enough room. It'll be a little tight, but it's only for about an hour and a half. And then we'll get them set up in my portable fish house. All right, I threw some treats in there for them. You know, they actually seem pretty happy. They're not making too much noise. I think they're a little confused, but I would be too. Well, all right, we are headed to the promised land. Yeah, I don't hear a peep out of the chickens, so I think they're pretty happy to be having some heat from the car. But it's going to be like this the whole way there, and there's a good chance that when I get there, I might not even be able to get, back into the cabin, because it's all depending on if those loggers plowed those roads or not. And there's a chance that they have not yet. So who knows? That's part of the adventure. I have no idea what we're heading into, but we shall see when we get there. Well, so far this first stretch of road is plowed, so that's a good sign. We'll see what the road that the log cabin is off of looks like. Like I said, there's a real possibility that it's not plowed at all. I'm gonna have to turn around and head on back. Well, all right, score. We're back to my summer parking spot. Only thing is there's this trailer in the way, or I'm in the way of the trailer, kind of. Not really. I think they can get by, but if not, I'll leave a note and they can call me. And then I'll have to hike out here and move my car if it's in the way. But the loggers are all really cool. They know my car and know that it's me. So I'm sure it'll probably be fine. But I'll leave my number just in case. I think I'm going to bring all my supplies back there first. Get the wood stove going. And then come back for the chickens. That way things are kind of set up there. Instead of having to bring the chickens in and then leaving them there. And then coming back. And then, you know what I mean? So I'll just go and get things kind of opened up. The chickens can hang tight for a little bit longer. They seem happy. They're not making any noise, so I don't know. But I'm gonna head back there, get that thing opened up, and yeah, then I'll come back for my second load, which will be the chickens. So load number 1 is gonna be pretty heavy. I got the portable fish house, all my stuff, some cleaning supplies. I had to stop on the way up here and buy some chicken feed, so that's 50 pounds right there. So it's probably a 150-pound sled, I'd say. But the chickens were completely out of feed, so I just bought them the big bag. And I don't really have anything to break it down into, you know, a smaller bag to bring just a little bit back there. So we'll just bring the whole thing, and then I'll just haul it back out with me. It's not a big deal. Let's head on back before a logger shows up and sees some weird dude with a wool sweater and 7 chickens out here and starts asking questions. I'm about halfway there. It'll be easier on the way back because I have to break trail the whole way right now, and with fresh snow like this, there's a lot of resistance on the sled, so It's quite a bit more tiring. There it is. What a goofball. Looking good. Everything's just how I left it. Didn't sweep before I left last time because I wasn't feeling very good. And as you can see, I broke the cardinal rule of having a log cabin in the wilderness, is you never leave the cabin without a good supply of firewood and kindling. But like I said, I was just not feeling it when I left last time. So I'll have to get some kindling split up and then get some firewood in here. And it's all buried in the snow out here. But we'll make it happen. All right, well, I think I'm just going to head right back and get the chickens right now rather than messing around with the wood stove, since that's going to take a minute or two to get some kindling split up and all that. And there's not a whole lot of daylight left, maybe another hour and a half or so. And I just assume get the chickens back in here. That way I know I am done out there and I can just get my stuff done I need to get done here. It's supposed to get really cold tonight too, so yeah, I got some work to do to get kind of opened up here. But yeah, this is all a fresh snowfall, in the last 12 hours or so. And there was no new tracks at all upon arrival. So that pine marten hasn't been here in the last 12 hours for sure, but I am sure he will be back. I'm kind of worried about that with the chickens, getting them set up in my tent. But I mean, you can hear, a pin drop out here, out in the middle of the wilderness like this, there is no noise whatsoever. It is ghostly quiet. And so between me and Skeeter, I think we'll be able to hear anything going on outside. Good girls. This is the type of content that you guys deserve, Not the same old stuff you always see on YouTube. It's something different. I'm willing to bet this is probably the first video on YouTube with chickens being pulled in a sled to a log cabin in the wilderness. All right, the chickens are on site, safe and sound. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strap on my snowshoes and stomp this area down right here. Then I'll set the tent up, and then I do have to go back to my car and get their bedding. I couldn't fit it on this trip, so it kind of sucks I have to go back, but it is what it is. But yeah, I want to put them over here just because in the springtime, their bedding will be, I don't want their bedding right next to the cabin, of course. So I'll set them up right here, kind of tucked away in the woods a little bit. And then in the springtime, I'll clean up their bedding or whatever, but it won't be too dirty. Like I said, this is only going to be a few days, so it won't be too bad. chickens gonna have a camp out or what? This looks like fun. I'm kind of jealous. I'm serious. That's where they're gonna hang out. Now you might be asking yourself, you know, is this really worth all the trouble of packing the chickens back in here and doing this? Yeah, absolutely it is. I think it is. You know, I really wanted to be here and I didn't really have a choice but to bring the chickens. So $5 in animal bedding and having to make one extra trip with the sled, it's really not that big of a deal. So I think it's totally worth it. The chickens are set up, good close proximity to the cabin. They got water, a plate full of food. I think they're gonna be in pretty good shape. Now I'll bank around this with snow. I'll close up this little gap over here and bank it up real good. And then, yeah, I'll make a quick little roost for them. And this ought to do them for a few days. There we go. Looks like we'll be able to enjoy some light tonight anyways. Well, here's my system since all my wood was covered in snow. I have 2 piles drying out right next to the wood stove. So those will dry out really fast and I'll load those first, and then by the time those are gone, this stuff should be dry as well. So we'll be in good shape. I got a pot of snow melting for Skeeter's water. And then I'll melt some more and get the coffee pot filled up. That way that's done. That way in the morning I can just wake up and fire up the burner and have coffee in no time. Because the last thing you want to be doing is waiting for coffee in the morning. It's already pretty warm in here. My wood's drying out nicely. I kind of got a little bit wet when I was doing firewood, so I'm kind of, you can see the steam coming off my pants maybe. So I'm drying these out. And yeah, you know, you kind of got to work for your comfort, you know, out here. I mean, even off-grid living, like how Cierra and I live in our main cabin, it's there's, you know, work to be done, But it makes you kind of enjoy your downtime a little bit more. You know, like I said, you have to work for your downtime. You have to work for your comfort. But it's rewarding, you know. Now it makes sitting by the toasty fire that much more enjoyable, you know. Look at this, a chicken already laid an egg. Score. All right, there's dinner tonight. Venison backstraps and hash browns. I already ate the bacon. Well, we got 2 farm fresh eggs from the chicken coop this morning already. It's a good start. So since I've been here, I've already gotten 3 eggs. So we're sustainable. We're being self-sufficient. Well, I have decided that it is breakfast time, so we'll have farm fresh eggs laid this morning, some bacon, and then the other half of those hash browns. Well, there's breakfast. Looks pretty plain. I don't have any salt and pepper or anything like that, so no seasoning, but it'll be all right. Oh, don't worry, Skeeter, you'll get some. You know, you really can't beat it. A good hot meal in the remote log cabin. It's a beautiful morning. And it's kind of chilly out, you know, it's minus 10 Fahrenheit. Or it was this morning anyways, so it's not real cold, but it's not exactly warm either. So yeah, just be able to sit here and have a hot meal, sitting by the wood stove. Pretty nice. There you go, buddy. Here's my view as I eat my breakfast. Quite nice. So I think after breakfast here, I'm going to strap on the snowshoes. I mean, it's just way too nice of a day to be sitting in the cabin. So I'd like to put a few miles on the snowshoes, kind of see what's going on out here, and move my trail camera to a location where I think we'll have some pretty good success. So we'll go scope that out after breakfast here. Some very pretty woods. Check out these tracks. It snowed last night, so those are fresh. Looks to be moose. And now a skeeter. Alright, so the land where I'm going to build a new cabin is up through here. So this is what I showed you in that last video where it's kind of logged off, and then my driveway will come off of this. But these are all, moose have this all stomped down in here. And so I think I'm going to put the trail camera up somewhere in here. That way it's, you know, it's pointed at a good open area. I think we have a pretty good chance of getting something here. At least seeing the moose. It'd be cool to see the moose. These are pretty big moose tracks through here, so, and it looks to be a few of them, a few different moose. So I'll set it up somewhere up in here, pointed at this kind of logged off area, and should be able to get something. You can see they crossed right over my sled tracks. The log cabin is up through the woods that way quite a ways. And here's where I pulled the sled in. So, pretty cool. I wonder when they came through. Must have been early this morning. Maybe we'll run into them if I'm quiet enough. Looks like they're heading that way. Well, Skeeter and I are making our way back to the cabin. He's starting to shiver. Like I said, it's pretty cold out. And I don't want him to be miserable. So we'll go back and get him warmed up by the fire, and maybe we'll go back out later this evening. Well, there you go. I got my 7 eggs for the day. We're thriving out here. Oh man, does it ever feel good to walk into a warm cabin. That wood stove is calling my name. How about you, Skeeter? You should warm up by the fire too, buddy. You're shivering. It's too cold out there for a Skeeter. Man, does it feel good in here. It's like the best thing ever, going from, I mean, being really chilly and then walking into just a cozy warm cabin. There's no other feeling like it. Like I said, I way rather prefer winter in the woods than summer in the woods. Because I'd way rather have to warm up than be hot and miserable and have to cool down. To me, it's a lot more enjoyable to be a little bit chilled, come in, get yourself a hot drink, and sit by the fire. That's a good feeling. Well, since it's pretty chilly out, I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon editing a couple of videos. I'm going to try to get this one out tonight. I can upload videos from here, they just take several hours, but I should have this one done, I mean, pretty soon. And I'll try to get it out tonight from the log cabin. It'll take, yeah, depending on how long the video is. Sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5 hours. Sometimes it doesn't work. We'll see. I'll give it a shot anyways. And then I'm going to go home tomorrow. It's supposed to be really cold tonight, but tomorrow and in the next couple days it's supposed to be minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to go back to our main cabin and settle in there for that cold snap. Just make sure everything's going smoothly there. Just because I have, you know, some more sensitive items there, you know, like that I don't want exposed to that type of cold. This place can freeze up all at once. There's nothing here that can go wrong. So, but I want to be back and make sure everything's running smoothly. And yeah, I'll have a video of that. We'll see how well that the new cabin heats at minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for that cold snap. It'll be fun to hunker down for a couple days while it's minus 30 Fahrenheit, and maybe bang out a couple inside projects inside the main cabin. And I'll make videos of that, of course. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys on the next one.